What's up? Tim Sykes here. Wanted to do a video lesson. I'm actually doing this while I'm giving a live challenge webinar. That way I'm forcing the challenge students to watch this video. It's such an important point because there's two games being played in trading. One for those of you with small accounts, one for those of you with big accounts. Everybody always wants to trade with big accounts, but you don't trade a big account strategy with a small account. There are plenty of small account strategies. That's what I teach. You don't get the glory, you don't get the excitement, but you start to build a foundation of both knowledge and trading that allows you to then later have a bigger account. I need you guys to understand that. So if at any time during this video you do understand that, leave a comment and say, I understand, okay? That is my whole goal for this video because I see people with small accounts getting jealous of the money that people with big accounts make. And I see people with big accounts ripping on those of you with small accounts with the small money they make. And it doesn't have to be that way. You can make money with a small account. You can make money with a big account. You just have to know which one is which. And I hope that if you do learn my small account strategies, one day you can trade with a big account. You can trade with the big boys, and then you can make big boy money. But you should not try to make big boy money when you have a small account and when you don't have the experience. Okay? So that's what I really want to clearly differentiate in this video. And I'm going to link this blog post. This was a blog post written 11 years ago by one of my top students, Tim Sykes, when, he used a very predictable pattern to catapult himself from basically, he was around 300,000 and he was going up to 600,000. So in one day, he made $200,000 plus, which is awesome. Tim Sykes has now made over 16, maybe even $17 million. So this was early in his career, but he was looking at this pattern, okay? This pattern was on Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. This is a common pattern. You might know this from my 7-step framework. These are intraday charts on Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac where both of them spike quite nicely until like 10 a.m. Then they have huge drops, nice bounces, and they start to peter out like a bouncing ball, okay? And this was Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, and I made the comparison to a lithium company where I traded similarly, LTUM. Completely different company, different industry, different time. This was months before, but same exact pattern. And this is why I love my 7-step framework. Anytime you see a pattern like this, whether it's exactly like this, whether it's similar to this, that's when you start to wake up and you're like, oh, okay, this pattern I've seen before. If you study enough, which is why I always try to get you to study my now nearly 10,000 video lessons. I know you don't want to, but you need to. And you challenge students, you don't want to watch archive webinars. You don't want to, but you need to. Tim Sykes now has 85 webinars alone. Jack Kellogg, he's given 100 webinars now. Like, you guys have so much access to studying the past because guess what? This pattern, this was a blog post a decade ago. And now MSTR did the exact thing yesterday. And obviously, crypto company, very different, but same kind of big morning spike, big morning panic, and then a bounce. Choppier, to be fair, okay? But the same basic pattern, the gist of a pattern. And this is why you have people like Kyle Williams, one of my students from 7 years ago, 6 years ago? When did he start? I don't even know. He made $500,000 yesterday. That was his biggest trade ever. If you look at some other big traders, not Carlos, congrats to Carlos, I'll get to him in a second. He just passed 70,000, but not Carlos because he was trading differently. But my friend Lucas, over $1 million. Guess what? Very nice. $1 million in a day. Not too bad. David Hanlon, $250,000 yesterday. Not too bad. Kalen, $250,000 on the day. Not too bad. Stoves, First six-figure day, 100,000. I'm retweeting them all because guess what? They've studied and they know the patterns. Even Blocks Trades, he says it's been a decade since he last traded with me, but he has to pay homage. He taught me early on about the intricacies of day trading and penny stocks, understanding hype. Some of the things he taught me still hold true. First red day, this was MSTR. Blocks Trades remembers the lessons from a decade ago, okay? Trade STL, look at this. He's trading, making $1 million. Madass made 183,000. Evan Shunk made 46,000. Another one of my millionaire students. And there were more too. I don't think Jack even posted. Jack made 170,000. Long story short, they're all trading this basic pattern. They all studied this blog post from over a decade ago. Please click the link below. I will link to this blog post. It's not always an exact science, but it's understanding the gist of this. And this blog post is not written by me. Some people are like, yeah, Tim, you're just all hyping this up. This is Tim Grittani, okay? Tim Grittani went over his specific trades. You can see all of them. Do these links still work? Look at this. This was him shorting, from 4 down to 2, 10,000 shares, and he made $20,000 plus. Pretty cool, okay? But I really want you to watch this. And look at this. He said, between these shorts, I was now up roughly 80,000 on the day. Despite the success, I knew my work was far from over. It was time to play the bounce. Okay, so I'm not a big fan of shorting, especially those of you with a small account, but you can play the bounce. And I'm not necessarily saying trade MSTR, but this is a solid bounce from 548 down to 428. So it's dropped 120 points. And 428 roughly up to 478. $50 a share of bounce, 10%. It's better with penny stocks. I don't like $400 or $500 stocks. I personally did not even trade this kind of a stock. But when the higher price stocks are spiking like this, guess what lower price stocks are doing? Ding, 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 offering up opportunities. So recognize this is a big boy trade for big accounts, and that's why you see different people making 50,000, 100,000, 500,000, a million on the day. That's awesome. But it is a different game being played by people like Fernando. CRNC made 200 on the day. Good job. I'll go over that in a second. Ron, good job making 600 on SBFM. Good job to Saul making 20% on VRPX, and Carlos over 70,000. And this was yesterday. He was at 70,400. Now, Carlos is actually in the webinar that I'm giving as I film this video lesson. He's close to 72,000. So he went over 70,000 and now he made another 1,500. Small account strategies, and that's fine. You just have to grow your small account so that eventually you will be my next millionaire student. Does everyone understand that? In the challenge chat, type in yes. Like I said, I'm giving a live challenge webinar. So they already wrote, I understand. But now I want everyone to type in yes if you understand that with a small account, you should be trading small account strategies. Not necessarily MSTR, not necessarily short selling. Here come the yeses. This is the cool thing about doing a live webinar, okay? These are upcoming students. Do not make fun of them trading small size. If you do, you are a snob and you will go to hell, okay? People start somewhere. And those of you who start small, it's okay. All my millionaire students started with a small amount of money too. You look at these people, Jack Kellogg, he was once a valet. He was watching my videos on YouTube while he was parking cars, Laptop legend, he had like a normal job too. Short Bear has been studying since he was young. I think he said he even sold like his video game consoles at 13 to actually trade. And then also, I got to give props to Kyle. I'm going to his wedding in a little bit. Kyle and Evan are both getting married. Props to them. But Kyle made 500 grand yesterday. Best day ever, mostly from the long. And I was like, congrats on being long. That's awesome. And guess what? When he joined my challenge, he wanted to become a millionaire. His parents are awesome. I've met them. They have like this whole poster up where like they framed, what was it, like a $20 bill or a $100 bill. And it was like the first $20 or $100. And they envisioned making millions. Now he's making 500 grand in a day. It's awesome to see what's possible within a few years of studying once you learn the patterns. Also, one more small account student, Derek, got to give him props, making 30 cents a share on QUBT yesterday. That's fantastic. So what am I talking about with these small account strategies? Well, these are my trades. I didn't trade MSTR. I've been trading PDYN, CRNC, SPAI, FBRX, XCUR, overtrading FBRX a little bit too. But in this video, I want to specifically go over small account strategies because you can make small money that grows your account, and then eventually you can trade higher price stocks, you can take greater position size, and you can trade like the big boys. But you should not be trading big account strategies with a small account. There's plenty of money to grow, plenty of opportunities to grow your small account. And there's plenty of money to be made with a small account. You don't get the big rewards, you don't get the big hype, but you got to build a foundation, okay? This is what I need you guys to understand. Also, Stratty, I forgot to mention him. He's texting me right now. He made $22,000 yesterday. Former gym teacher, closing in on $600,000. Not quite a millionaire, but very nice, okay? He just texted me. He's up another 12,000 today, midday now, but he's up 9,000 now. He lost 3,000, so he's in timeout, and he's texting me to be responsible for him. I like that. I appreciate that. Every now and then you got to go into timeout. Anyways, CRNC yesterday, okay, this was an earnings winner. This was a great trade for me. Small account, small 6% gain, but CRNC was uptrending. It's uptrending again today, so I underestimated it. And you're just trying to ride it. You're trying to ride the upside, okay? It was already a big percent gainer before I bought. I bought at 480, but I said big dip buy off the highs. As I teased in chat, I usually say my trades before in chat because I want you guys to watch the stock and see if it gets to a level where I'm going to trade it. This was at 10:25 a.m. yesterday. So roughly what, 26, 27 hours ago. I bought CRNC at 480 right in here. It had already spiked from 3 up to 560, and I'm buying it in here, and I'm selling it into this little bounce. I'm riding the uptrend, betting that it's going to go higher, and I'm only holding it for less than, 20, 30 minutes, and I took 25, 30 cents a share. Nothing huge, but this is a great trade, okay? Let's do the math. Pull up my little calculator. 4.8 times 3,000 shares. I put in $14,400 and I made $870. That is a good trade. Do I need to bet so small? No. Do I want to trade so small? No. Do I keep any of these profits? No. I donate it all. I'm trying to teach you the process. But I'm glad to teach you a small account strategy, dip buying an earnings winner off the high, selling near the highs again. I didn't even have patience, okay? You might say, Tim, you sold way too early today. It's 760. I don't care. With a small account, you don't have the luxury of trying to go for these home runs. You're trying to take singles. I was happy with that 870. Again, today, I was trading it. This one was even more cowardly because CRNC here, yesterday's high is 630-ish, 640-ish. And today, near the open, it's testing that key level of 640, 650. And it goes up. And again, I'm dip buying because I think that it can get back there. Okay? I'm thinking that it can get back to 650. Sure enough, it does. It goes to 660, but it actually goes down to 6. So this was a very choppy breakout before it gets to the 7s. I didn't wait. I didn't wait for this bigger breakout. I didn't wait for this failed breakout. I didn't wait for this bigger gradual spike. I was in at 620, out at 640. Why? Because I wasn't sure it was even going to break the day high. This is cowardly, small account defensive trading. I don't care that it went up another $1 a share. I went in with a thesis near the open. I didn't get what I wanted and I got out. I wouldn't care if I had lost $368. Why? Because I'm not interested in home runs. How much money did I put in? $1,750 times 6.19. I'm putting in $10,832. Plus or minus $500, it's basically a scratch. I'm trying to make 1,000 or two. Had it broken out above 650 more convincingly, and I sold at 660, 670, 680, I'm making my $1,000 goal. That's what I would have wanted. I didn't get it. Could I have rebought it later? Yes, but this breakout actually failed too. And I said in chat, I was like, this doesn't look very convincing, so I didn't buy it. Third time was the charm, but this was way too gradual for me. I very rarely will ever catch a third time spiker. I'm going for that initial spike. I didn't get it. It's okay. That's the beauty of small account trading. You don't always get what you want. But this brings me to the piece de resistance. My best trade of the day, my best trade of the week, PDYN. How did I find it? It was already a big percent gainer, as I said in chat. It was already up from the 220s to the 290s when I saw it, okay? It was spiking. You can see it holding above the VWAP. The VWAP has been a good guide lately. And this was uptrending quite nicely. Not only is it a spiker today, but this has been a recent spiker in the past. But didn't really have big volume yesterday, was very spiky. And when it was spiking here earlier in the week, guess what? They partnered with Redcat, RCAT. So I saw this news, but news alone doesn't get me involved in a stock. I saw the news right in here with PDYN and RCAT. RCAT has been uptrending nicely. I completely missed this. This is an earnings winner. This is another drone play. And even though I missed it, I recognize that because PDYN is also an AI drone play, it's a sympathy play to RCAT. As I said in challenge chat earlier, very similar to SCRV and the lower priced RR a few months ago. When SCRV was spiking, RR also spiked. So you can put RCAT and PDYN in the same kind of buckets. RCAT is uptrending nicely. PDYN was not uptrending, even though they did a deal with RCAT. But today, it broke out. So anytime I'm looking at a big percent gainer with a small account, I'm looking for that breakout level. Remember, with CRNC, I wanted it to break that 640 level, and it didn't do it convincingly, so I got out. Later, I would have been proven right, but I don't care. It didn't do it when I wanted it. PDYN, when I'm looking at it as a big percent gainer today, it was already at 290, okay? But because I look at multiple time frames, I recognize that the breakout is 270. I don't want to chase it at 290. But guess what? It came down a little bit. What did it come down to? That's right, 270, okay? It's at that key breakout level. So if you ever miss a breakout, you often get a second chance. In CRNC's case, you actually had 3 chances to buy the breakout. But PDYN was a perfect, 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 perfect. I was going to try to do it 27 times. I don't know. Perfect breakout and hold above 270. Okay. That is why I bought it. So if you look at my trade, I bought 3,000 shares at 275. Let's do the math. Bring on the calculator. I put in $8,250. Dip buying, and sorry for my typos. You know, sometimes when a stock is spiking, I'm just trying to get the alert out so you can learn right away. Never to follow. Do not follow alerts from me or anybody else. Learn. Why am I buying? What is my mindset? Okay? I said dip buying this big spiker. Same kind of company as RCAT. They did a deal a few days together. Let's see how far this can go. Looks like today it's finally being discovered. You'll see with these low price stocks, you want to be there on the first green day, not just as a big percent gain, but with big volume. That's like the discovery day. And this was the discovery day. I bought it on the 2-day breakout. It's above the VWAP. It's a nice dip off the 290s. I specifically say the goal is to sell it in the 3s. I'm looking for a retest of the 290s and ideally a breakout. And I got it. Okay, this was all in a few minutes. I sold it into this run up here in the 317s. It went up to 350, but it was pretty choppy. It just broke back to 350, very choppy. I don't care. I don't care what it does from now. I locked in my $1,000 roughly. Each of the past few days, I made roughly $2,000. I'm now over $300,000 year to date with a small account. Some people will say, Tim, some of your top students made this in a day yesterday. Yes, they did, and I'm proud of them. But they're trading with big accounts and they're trading big boy strategies. I'm trading with a small account. I'm trading for charity, and I'm showing you the process to growing a small account. You don't necessarily have to buy 3,000 shares of PDYN. Maybe that's bigger than your small account. Buy 1,000 shares. Put in $2,750 and try to sell it at $317 and try to make $300 or $400 on 1,000 shares. Buy 100 shares. And you might say, well, Tim, if you buy 100 shares, it's going to take you forever to make millions. You're learning the process, okay? If you look at all of my top students, let me just pull this up just to reinforce this. Jack Kellogg might be at 13.5 million. Very awesome. But if we go by date and you click, this is his latest trades, but you click date and you can see his earliest trades too. Come on. Make me look good, website. Why is this not working? I hate technology. Let me just go all. No, actually, let me go. Well, I'll show you 1 year. 1 year is at 1 million. Year to date, he's at 1.6 million. But let's go back. Let's go back to, let's see, what, 2017? I'll just pull up a random time frame. Let's see how he did during the week of 2017. Is that before he began? Or he took some time off in the beginning. Let's see 2018. Let's try 2019. I'm changing the dates. Oh, look at this. Back in 2019, just 5 years ago, he made $248 on the day. Let me actually show the entire month. Let's see how he did for November of 2019. For the month, $6,800. Not too bad, right? But look at this. Little overnight play, 225. Dumb short into the close. Lost 100. First red day. First green day. First green day. Didn't want to risk overnight. OTC breakout. Oh, look. 5 years ago, he's trading with $100 and $200 at a time. Why is he so successful now? Because he followed my instructions. He studied up and then he sized up. So when you look at his profit chart of 13.5 million and you see that he's making 100, 200,000 in a day, recognize that back in 2018 and 2019, he wasn't making much of anything. He learned a lot. He capitalized in 2020, 21, and he's been capitalizing ever since. Okay? And it's not risk-free. This is just one example. And he's giving a webinar in about an hour from now. Right when I'm doing this video, you have to understand that. So you guys tell me, in the comment section, say, yes, I understand. Write 3 words. Yes, I understand. If you understand that even once upon a time, my top students started trading small. They were trading small account patterns like PDYN, like CRNC. SOUN is another one that's breaking out. One of my students just brought this up. This one moves a little too slowly. QUBT keeps breaking out. It's a little choppy, but it's uptrending. This one could keep going. We'll see. RCAT looks a little overextended, frankly, so I don't really want to chase that. But you don't just have to trade MSTR, okay? You don't have to trade these big companies. You can grow your small account. This is what I need you guys to understand, okay? Look, Custom2324 said this was great. Thought my screen froze. No, your screen didn't freeze. I'm just trying to make a point. Small account strategies work. 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 Okay, I'm tired. Okay? How do they work? Because you get practice, you get know-how, you get experience, and if you do it right, you also grow your small account. Win, 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 win. Sometimes I lose. Even though I've been doing this 25 years, I can still be wrong, okay? I'm wrong roughly 30% of the time if you go look at my trades. Don't think that I'm perfect. I'm just showing you I'm really closing the week strong. If you watch my video lessons from earlier this week, I was a mess. I cut losses quickly, so I didn't lose too much, but this is me trading disciplined and not over trading. I was over trading on SPAI. I was over trading on FBRX. I was over trading on XCUR. So go and watch my video lesson from earlier this week if you want to see what a mess I was. But I'm very glad to finish the week strong over a key milestone and in a disciplined manner. That's the whole point. So while I congratulate, students like Derek making small amounts or students like Kyle making huge amounts, it all starts somewhere, okay? This is the beautiful thing. Anybody can be my next millionaire student, but you got to follow the process and you got to study. Click some links below. I'll include a bunch of links, including this blog post about how Tim Grittani made $200,000 in a day with this kind of a chart pattern, okay? Get inspired by the big traders, but also capitalize on the small account trades. Leave a comment below. Say, yes, I understand. Let me know if you understand. That's all I want.